I'm Teddy Knappen, and welcome to Gun Lawyer. Now, I promised everyone my father would be back, and sure enough, he was back, and because he was on vacation, obviously he got sick, and of course he lost his voice. So, unless we wanted him on here and, coughing up a lung and him, having this turn into an ASMR of him whispering gun law, let's let him recover. Don't worry, he'll more than likely be back next week. Till then, let's let him rest. But for now, we have some news to discuss. So, the Supreme Court, this comes from the AP News, the Supreme Court is considering whether people who regularly smoke pot can legally own guns. So this comes from an article written by Lindsay Whitehurst. The Supreme Court said Monday that it will consider whether people who regularly smoke marijuana can legally own guns. Latest firearm case to come since, the Bruen decision. So I want to highlight the impact again. The hammer Bruen, thanks to St. Justice Thomas, where we are slowly smashing and working our way through the various gun laws. And just to highlight the fact that, look, you can say what you will about marijuana, okay? It's not the cure-all, but it does have its benefits, and it's just so prevalent. But you got to focus on the fact that this is about freedom and not allowing the federal government to take away people's rights. Because it's all over the place, okay? And that comes up a lot with a lot of clients, a lot of people smoking weed, as my father publishes and puts out there, and has very much everyone uses it now as a coined term. Bang or bong, you can't have both. Well, the Supreme Court heard that, and now they're going to figure out, can you actually have it? So President Donald Trump administration has asked justices to revive the case of the Texas man charged with a felony because he alleged had a gun in his home and acknowledged he was a regular pot user. The Justice Department appealed after a lower court largely struck down the law, barring people who usually use any illegal drugs from having guns. They argued that the broad law written puts millions of people at risk with the technical violation, since only 20% of, at least 20% of Americans have tried pot, according to the government health data. About half the states have legalized recreational marijuana, but it's still illegal under federal law. Remember that. It's still illegal under federal law. Okay. We need to just remove this as a federal issue, as a federal disqualifier, because it screws people out of their rights when they shouldn't. It's about allowing people, because we want as many people as they can to be able to exercise their Second Amendment rights. And quite frankly, this should be removed. They should just remove marijuana as a federal disqualifier. If there's any other way they want to carve it out, I'm happy to listen about it. But until then, this is a prevalent issue. It comes into play a lot for when people are looking to get mental health expungements. We were just having that from Dr. Adine, from that exact issue where we formalize, if it comes up where you formalize your usage of marijuana, you're screwed out of your gun rights. And that's not right. That is not right, and people should have access to their firearms. So very clearly, this is a big issue, and we'll see where the Supreme Court lines up on that. My hope is they strike it out and we can move on from it. So I'd like to also talk to our friends here now at We Shoot. So We Shoot is bursting with pride as they are celebrating about Katie Rutherford has officially been named New Jersey State Champion in the highly competitive service pistol match, and she did it the true We Shoot fashion, disciplined, determined, and absolutely dialed in. So congratulations to her win. And We Shoot offers classes for their CCARE certification, so you can get your New Jersey permit to carry. We Shoot is arranged in Lakewood, New Jersey. They have a fantastic facility for great training and a great pro shop. They have all kinds of deals and specials. We love We Shoot. It's where I go, where my father go to shoot, and we got our certifications there. So just go there and mention Gun Lawyer, and you'll be treated like royalty. And if you don't mention Gun Lawyer, you'll still be treated like royalty because they're the best. WeShootUSA.com is their website. Beautiful photos. You can see their We Shoot girls posing with their gorgeous guns. And they're the guns that they have that you can buy. And then you can have great deals, great sales. Not only sell you the gun, but they'll teach you how to use it effectively. Check out WeShootUSA.com. It's conveniently located in Lakewood, New Jersey, right off the Parkway. You'll be glad you did it. I also want to mention the Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Club. New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Club just had a case in the federal court where the appellate court gave a mixed win at the moment. But of course, the fight isn't over. We'll call it a partial victory regarding sensitive places in the carry killer bill. Essentially, what the status quo is at the moment that has been maintained, in which you can still carry in your vehicle with the carjacker protection law that has still been enjoined, but you can carry concealed, loaded on your person, New Jersey carry permit in your vehicle. That is still enjoined. You can do it because, remember, the carry killer bill tried to prevent it. You can still go on private property as long as it's open to the public and otherwise a sensitive place. We lost a bit in terms of filming locations, in terms of movie filming, in terms of transport on a public transportation. You're going to have gun cases unloaded, etc. If you're going to go riding on the bus or on a train, however, interestingly, if they found that the $200 fee, that was a $50 fee portion that goes to the state, was unlawful. It's unlawful because it went to the VCCB, which is the Victims Crime Compensation Board. Under the case law, you cannot have a fee for licensing not go to actual regulatory activity. That is the purpose of the fee, so that has been knocked out. So now the price of New Jersey carry permit is $150. And if they live in any towns that are refunding, such as Englishtown, which was one of the first in the start, they were funding their $150. So you can actually get your carry permit in New Jersey for free. So the fight continues. This is just one step as we go challenging the Second Amendment oppressionist legislation as they laid upon us, and the association is the forefront fighting for your rights. Make sure you are a member of anjrpc.org, anjrpc.org. And let me also mention my father's book, New Jersey Gun Law. It is the Bible of New Jersey gun law. You can get your copy of New Jersey Gun Law at evannappen.com. It'll help you navigate a very complex course that has been laid out for the gun rights oppressionists who try to trip you up every turn and turn you into a criminal, stop you from being a defender and instead into a victim. You need to be a defender instead of a victim, especially since the police have no duty to protect you, as you now know. Get the Big Orange Book, order today, scan the cover, and make sure you get into the private subscriber base. You'll get immediate access to the archive, which we'll be able to update and we send out, and also download the 2025 comprehensive update that includes the new standalone chapter on sensitive places where you can and cannot carry. So check it out and get your book today. All right. So, as we know, press checks are always free. And see what the gun rights suppressors are pushing. We know we always got to check in on our enemy, that is the Trace, and see what they're peddling. And the latest, as I was laughing when I was reading it, from The Trace by Oleg Pierce, analysts show 150 U.S. cities show one of the greatest drops in gun violence ever. I wonder why that is. Well, good news. The Trace explains it. So, the gun violence is trending downward. This is what the article is talking about. Then for 3/4 of the cities with the most shootings, according to the analysis of the Trace Gun Violence Data Hub. They highlight various cities of St. Louis with their gun lines trending down. In the course of 12 weeks, it has been 1.4 fewer victims being shot, translating to 4.1% decrease of the average weekly shooting victims. They go over their details using isolating terms, which is how they cook the books, but as they highlight and ignore the quote-unquote blips of various mass shootings. As they show the various lines trending, you can go to the article. They highlight. I love how they always try to paint this here. So they say there was a large spike in pre-COVID in COVID levels of 2020 of the spike. Now, what they don't like to highlight is the fact that if you actually look at the data and see that the trend numbers, crime was still up very high prior, but there has been a massive change where there's a downturn where, remember they were toting during the election where they're saying crime is down. But if you actually look at it from pre-COVID levels to now, the crime was actually very high. Wasn't until a massive change this year. I wonder what that was. So now, after 2 more years, in their words, 2 years of sharp decline, the answer, this is their reasoning they give, folks. Here it is. Teachers, counselors, after-school programs, basketball coaches, violence interrupters, and others who are the front lines of the gun. I wonder what the others are. Also, why do they highlight basketball coaches? What is that about? People. And they were highlighting the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which gave $250 million to $750 million to state programs, including red flag laws, mental health courts, and funding has dried up now. And they need here it is, folks. More money, please. More money, please. So this is where they're toting it. They're trying to get the federal government to fund their anti-gun rights programs, where they're pushing for more red flag, believing that actually has an effect on crime and shootings, which has been proven it does not. So they go into more citing about how the need to fund programs like ceasefire, other local programs, quote unquote. But I want to highlight something they completely ignore. I wonder what was wonder why they're pushing for this now. Why are they now all of a sudden trying to say that they've been pushing for a long time that crime is down? And now, when it actually is showing where crime has dropped a crap ton in various areas, why is that? Well, under USA Carry, pulling this up, you can actually see how all states are now shall issue or constitutional carry. So now, the more prevalence of people being able to carry, people being able to defend themselves and not be victims of shootings, being able, which you got to always cite to, I believe the number is 3 million lives are saved. That's from the CDC, are saved from defensive uses of a firearm. It's one of those they need to, that is always highlighted, but they like to ignore that. So the mass push for carry has come up, and crime is starting to tick down. Look, and here comes the truth right here from Bearing Arms by Cam Edwards. The NRA ILA executive director says it's time for Congress to step up and pass National Concealed Carry Reciprocity, which allows lawful gun owners to carry across the country. There it is, folks. That is the push. Not just about the funding, not just about the fact that they're trying to push for more red flag, but they know that if there was ever a time to push for national reciprocity, here it is. And just right now in the article, right from Breitbart, from AWR Hawkins, Trump specifically said, when a reporter asked President Trump, could there be any further conversation to have national concealed carry apply to actually DC like you have a driver's license in Texas and you have a permit. Trump interjected, as you know, they've been talking about that for a long time. It's an interesting question. A lot of people feel strongly both ways, but we're talking about that. The conversation is, and he has says, if it ever reached his desk, he will sign it. So that's the timing is just perfect. So this comes out right in the same time as October, and then Trace puts out this article. So you can automatically see the game they're trying to play, where they're trying to downplay. Well, we don't need national. We don't. No. You don't need that. Yeah, all the states. No. We need red flag. That's what's helping. That's what's stopping, and not the fact that now more and more people are able to carry and able to defend themselves. I wonder why that they're trying to make this push. So they're trying to stamp out the need for national reciprocity. So, and I can honestly see this as their play because they're scared. They know, because we already know the left have lost the battleground of ideas because they've conceded that ground the moment that the left shot and killed Charlie Kirk. They've conceded those grounds. They've already conceded fact and logic because we already see the data. We already see the arguments coming to that. So now they're trying to peddle the whole argument like it's not needed. We don't need this. Why do you need national reciprocity? Why do that? Well, we certainly do, because we see the disgusting manners, places like Jersey, where they're trying to push for sensitive places left and right, trying to go after our carry and trying to make it and hamper our ability to defend ourselves. So, but I wholeheartedly, President Trump, if you're listening to this, please push for national reciprocity. Now's the time. Seize it while you can and get us our national reciprocity now. So, as everyone knows, their favorite segment is the GoFu, the gun owner F-up. And let us bring up now, this is something that has come up recently. And this is something I need to address for people. They need to remember. And do not buy any ammunition online. Just don't even do that, okay? Here's the problem. If you're buying from online, which most of them do it from out of state, buy online, you're in state of New Jersey, you buy online. I'll even pull it up right on the page on my father's book, right here, page 13, number 8. Person, when you're ordering handgun ammunition, out of state and received via interstate commerce, there is no federal statute prohibiting the acquisition in this manner. However, unless the seller fully complies in New Jersey law, which includes the display of a gun license permit and electronic recording, is unlawful in New Jersey. Additionally, the seller could be charged with being an unlicensed New Jersey dealer. They have to comply with reporting the 2,000 more bulk sales. Do not do this, folks. Please, please do not do this, okay? Buy locally, all right? Go to your gun, buy your ammunition, because you are setting yourselves up. They are willing, New Jersey's fully willing to attack and go after, and we're trying to not allow them to go after gun dealers. Don't give them the excuse. Please, please do not buy handgun ammunition. Do not buy ammunition online, okay? All right. We must all remember that gun laws do not protect honest citizens from criminals. They protect criminals from honest citizens.
Gun Lawyer is a Counterthink media production. The music used in this broadcast was managed by Cosmo Music, New York, New York. Reach us by emailing evan@gun.lawyer. The information and opinions in this broadcast do not constitute legal advice. Consult a licensed attorney in your state.